Dear students, welcome here again. I would like to again request you to wear mask, keep safe distancing, maintain a good hygienic health, well health, and listen to what your governments are saying time to time. Let's continue. Father is the keeper of the big half moon lighthouse. Father is the keeper of the big half moon lighthouse. As you know earlier that they lived in an island, big half moon island, and there they lived together. The narrator's brother and the narrator's father lived together there in an island, big half moon island. And now we are being informed that the father of the narrator is the keeper of the big half moon lighthouse. Who is a keeper? A keeper is one who looks after something, or a keeper is a custodian. Keeper. Keeper, the word keeper does mean custodian or one who looks after something. Here in this text, we find that the father of the narrator is the keeper of the big half moon lighthouse. Lighthouse. What is lighthouse? Lighthouse. Lighthouse is a tower or a building Lighthouse is a tower or a building that holds a light, that holds a strong light to guide the ships near the coast. Lighthouse is a tower or a building that holds a strong light to guide the ships near the coast. Thus, the father of the narrative is the keeper of the lighthouse in Big Half Moon. What is Big Half Moon? Big Half Moon is the name of that island where the narrator with her family lived together. Who was the keeper of the Big Half Moon? The narrator's father, or the father of the narrator was the keeper of the Big Half Moon lighthouse. Then next, I am 11 years old. Who is 11 years old? The narrator or the author is 11 years old. The narrator is 11 years old. Then Claude is 12. How old is Claude? Claude is 12 years old. In winter, When the harbor is frozen over, we all move over to the mainland. In winter, when the harbor is frozen over, we all move over to the mainland. In winter, in the season of winter, when the harbor became frozen, they went to the mainland and there they spent this winter, and again they returned to the island when it became normal. In winter, when the harbor is frozen over, we all move over to the mainland. And then the line, the sentence, as soon as spring comes, when spring comes, back we sail to our own dear island, Big Half Moon Island. Thus, they had two residences, one in the mainland and another in the island. You let us explain in winter why in winter is placed in the beginning of this sentence. In winter, as we know, in winter is an adverbial generally we place adverbial to the last of a sentence or to the last of a sentence, but here the narrator has used in winter in the beginning. Why does she use in this way or in the beginning? She has used these adverbial in winter to emphasize the season when they were compelled to leave their favorite island. This winter is placed in the beginning only to emphasize their suffering, their pain, because of the leaving of the island. In winter, you can understand, in winter, we have been informed, we have been striken against this adverbial. In winter. Thus, in winter is an adverbial and it is very significant in this aspect, in this connection. In winter, when the harbor is frozen over, as you know, Canada is situated to the north and the winter all over the country they feel very cool. Cold prevails during winter. coldness prevails during winter. In winter, when the harbor is frozen over, we all move over to the mainland. We all move over. They all went to the mainland when it was winter. In winter, during winter, they went to the mainland because of the freezing of the harbor. Then, as soon as spring comes, back we sail to our own dear island. Back we sail. Back we sail. Back we sail. Meaning we sail back. We sail back. Meaning we return. We return to the island, their favorite island. Back we sail to our own dear island. The word dear is used here to make you understand that the island was her favorite one. It was a favorite land to reside. It was a very dear land to stay there. It was a very loving place to live there. Thus, when it was winter, they went to the mainland, and when spring came, they returned to their island. In these two sentences, we can easily see the use of clauses. In these two sentences, we can easily understand the use of clauses. In the first sentence, in winter, when the harbor is frozen over, we all move over to the mainland. Can you tell what clause is used in this sentence? Can you tell? It is very easy. It is an adverbial clause or adverb clause used here. How many clauses are there? There are 3 clauses. There are 3 types of clauses. Independent clause, dependent clause and coordinate clause. Independent clause, dependent clause and coordinate clause. it has another name, main clause. Dependent clause and coordinate clause. As the name implies, independent clause is a clause which can remain in its own hand or in its own capability or ability, and it can be a sentence, it can be a full sentence. And dependent clause, it depends on another clause. Thus, dependent clause is named dependent clause. Dependent clause, it depends or it relies on another clause. Thus, the name dependent is given to this clause. Can you answer? How many dependent clauses are there? There are 3 dependent clauses. 3 dependent clauses. As you have already known, there are 3 dependent clauses. Noun clause, adjective clause, and adverbial clause. Noun clause or nominal clause, adjective clause or relative clause, and adverb clause or adverbial clause. Thus, there are 3 types of dependent clauses: noun clause or nominal clause, adjective clause or relative clause, and adverb clause or adverbial clause. Now, this sentence, when in winter, when the harbor is frozen over, we all move over to the mainland. This sentence, in winter, when the harbor is frozen over, we all move over to the mainland. Can you say in what clause this sentence belongs to? This sentence belongs to adverbial clause. In winter, when the harbor is frozen over, we all move over to the mainland. We all move over to the mainland. In winter, when the harbor is frozen over, we all move over to the mainland. You can use this adverbial here. In winter. Thus, when the harbor is frozen over, thus the W at the beginning of when should be capitalized, as we use in winter this adverbial at the end of this sentence. When the harbor is frozen over, we all move over to the mainland in winter. We can easily find there are two parts in this sentence. One, when the harbor is frozen over, and the another, we all move over to the mainland in winter. This is a part in this sentence, and the another part, when the harbor is frozen over. This sentence, this part, we all move over to the mainland in winter. This part can stand alone. This part of the sentence can stand alone. Thus, this part is independent. It does not rely on another part or sentence or phrase or another. Thus, this clause is called main clause or independent clause. But the first part, when the harbor is frozen over, it relies on another part of the sentence because it cannot stand alone. The meaning is not complete. When we stop here, the meaning is not complete. When the harbor is frozen over, incomplete. The meaning is clearly incomplete in this part. So, it is a dependent clause. It is a dependent clause. And as we can see, when যখন time, it is in adverbial clause because this part of the sentence does the work of an adverb. This part of this sentence does the work of an adverb. It signifies the time of the dependent clause of the verb remains in the independent clause. It signifies the time of the verb remains in the independent clause. Thus, this part of the sentence is an adverbial clause. So, we can easily say that this is an example of an adverb clause. Adverb clause. There are so many students who are watching this video and are guessing that why sir does not say subordinate clause. Subordinate clause. What is subordinate clause? Subordinate clause and dependent clause are the same. Subordinate clause. Subordinate clause. Dependent clause is called subordinate clause, or subordinate clause is called dependent clause. Dependent or subordinate, the same clause, and this subordinate clause or dependent clause are classified into three categories: nominal clause or noun clause, adjective clause or relative clause, and adverbial clause or adverb clause. Now the second sentence, let us explain. Let us as soon as as soon as spring comes, back we sail to our own dear island. Back we sail to our dear island. As soon as spring comes, back we sail to our dear island. This is the sentence, and in this sentence there are two parts. As soon as spring comes, it is a part, and back we sail to our dear island is the another part. Thus it is divided into two parts. As soon as spring comes, this cannot be pronounced singly, that cannot be said, that cannot be told without this part. This part cannot be spoken without the last part of this sentence. Back we sail to our dear island. Thus, the first part of this sentence is not independent. It relies on the second part of the sentence. It depends on the second part of the sentence. Thus, this is dependent clause. This is a subordinate clause. This is an adverbial clause. And why is this an adverbial clause? Why is this an adverbial clause? Because of this, the use of this phrase, as soon as spring comes. As soon as spring comes. As I have informed you earlier, that as soon as it indicates a time. It indicates a time, and as we know, the parts of speech, adverb works to modify a verb, an adjective or an adverb as soon as it modifies comes. This verb, as soon as this phrase modifies comes, the verb. Thus, this whole sentence bears the duty of an adverb, and as a part, this sentence also make us understand why the narrator with her family sails back to their dear island. Why? And this word also modifies the action of the narrator and her family. Back we sail to our dear island. We sail back to our dear island. This whole part modifies why they sail back to their own island, because of spring comes. So they sailed back to their own island. Thus these